Okay, let's add in the last graphical effect of our game, and that's going to be making our pegs fade out after our ball is moved off screen, and we need to remove the pegs. So I'm going to do that by going into our peg actor class, and I'm going to start by creating a function called, let's call it fade out. Fade out. This will be something pretty basic. Again, I'm going to call tween light, and since Flash Develop has trouble finding it, there we go, I'll hit Control-Shift-1. And again, I'm going to use tween light's to function, although I'm not going to be calling it on this. I'm not going to be calling it on the peg actor itself. The thing I actually want to be fading out is the sprite that's associated with the peg actor, and that would be this costume variable. I will make the fade out last about, I don't know, 1/3 of a second, and our alpha is going to go to 0 in that time. And to make this happen, let's jump into our Puggle class, and in our handle ball off screen function, right now I'm going through each peg actor in my pegs lit up array, and I'm saying, okay, safely remove this actor. Now I'm going to comment this out because safely removing the actor, as you'll recall, removes the body and the sprite, and it does this immediately. And we don't want that to happen because then we won't be able to see our sprite fade out. So let's just delete this code. And instead, I'm going to call our peg to removes fade out function. So let's see what happens when we run this. And actually, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to remember to go back up to my goal peg number, and I'm going to put that back up to 22, just so we have a game that looks sort of real again. Now when I run this, alright, well, it looks like our pegs are fading out, although there's a couple of things I don't quite like about this. First is that our pegs are fading out all at once, and if you actually look at the Peggle game, it's got this cool feature where the pegs kind of fade out one at a time, and I think that just looks a little extra nifty. The other problem that I'm running into is even though my pegs have faded out, they're still there. I'm still bouncing off of them. And that's because even though now the actor, or I suppose the costume, has faded to complete transparency, I haven't removed the body anymore. So we need to do that. So let's tackle these issues one at a time. Now the first thing I'm going to do is stagger our pegs fading out. In other words, rather than have them all fade out immediately, I'm going to have them all start to fade out one after another. Now this is actually pretty easy, again with tween light. First thing I'm going to do is actually jump back into my peg actor, and let's say we pass into our fade out function one parameter, and that's going to be our peg number. This will sort of be the place in the array that our peg is listed, or maybe you can think of it as the order in which these pegs were originally hit, because that's the order they're going to be put into our pegs lit up array. So this is going to be an int, from whatever, 0 to 20. And what I can do is in my tween light call, in addition to setting things like alpha, I can also set this special variable called a delay. And this delay is basically the number of seconds that tween light is going to wait until it actually starts this function. So I'm going to call a delay of, say, 0.08 seconds multiplied by our peg number. To then call this fade out function appropriately, I'm going to go back into my Puggle application, and over where I have my handle ball off screen function, I guess I'll slightly rewrite this so that I'm going to say for var I.int is 0, I is less than our pegs lit up dot length I plus plus, our peg to remove is peg actor of pegs lit up I, and then I can call pegs to remove dot fade out and pass in our counter, our array counter. So let's run this one more time. Boy, that was real fast, but I don't know if you saw that. Let's try it one more time here and hit a few more pegs on the way down. Now we're going to get a nice little staggering motion to our pegs as they disappear from our screen. So that's kind of cool. But yes, we still have the invisible pegs problem. So let's deal with that part last. Now, again, TweenLite makes it fairly easy to deal with this problem. And the way it lets you do that is it gives you the ability to call a function, any function you want, when a tween is completed. So within my peg actor, what I actually could do is just pass in, again, like delay, there's a special variable called onComplete that will say, hey, what function would you like me to call when this tween is complete? And what I could do is I could actually just have it call my actor's built-in destroy function. So I save this and run it. And we'll go through the process of removing a few of these pegs. And now, when I shoot my ball into this area that used to be infested with pegs, it hits nothing. My peg actors have safely been removed. Actually, that's kind of a lie. Did I say they were safely removed? They were just removed. Because remember, the one contract I made with myself is that I was going to call this destroy function from one place and one place only, and that was from my safely remove actor function over in my Puggle class. And I've kind of short-circuited all of that. I really have no guarantee now of when this destroy function is being called. Plus, you'll remember that I was keeping track of all my actors in a giant array. I'm no longer actually removing these actors from the giant array because I've skipped the whole step where we do that. So this might work, but it's really bad coding style. So let's do it the right way. And I think the right way is probably to create another custom peg event that my peg actor will call that basically says something like, okay, I'm done fading out, now you can destroy this peg. So let's do that. I'm going to jump into my peg event class, and in addition to my peg lit up event, I'm going to create another constant called, let's call it done fading out. All right. And now within my peg actor, instead of onComplete calling destroy, I will have it call a function called, I don't know, send fade out done. Again, I can hit Control-Shift-1 and generate this function. And all I'm going to do here is dispatch an event. And it's going to be a new peg event of type peg event dot done fading out. And so now that I've dispatched the event, the other half of the equation is listening for this in my Puggle application. So I'm going to go back to Puggle and I'm going to go up to basically my create level function where I've created my pegs in the first place. In addition to adding an event listener for peg lit up, I'm now going to add an event listener for done fading out. And this will call a function called, oh, I don't know, destroy peg now. I'll hit Control-Shift-1 to generate this event handler. And now at this point, I can safely remove the actor, which is a peg actor of the current target. So maybe a little convoluted, but I suppose the right way of doing it. Within my peg actor, now when I'm done fading out, I call a function that dispatches a done fading out event. Within my Puggle application, I listen for that event, and when I get it, then I can actually safely remove the actor. And remember, this then sticks the actor into an array and waits until the proper time to then call the destroy function within that actor. So I've sort of gone through several steps to now remove the actor, but I feel better about it because I'm keeping this convention where I always remove actors through this safe remove actor function. So that makes me happy. The only other thing I probably should do here, and it's sort of my biggest pet peeve with event listeners, is I think the proper thing to do is remember to remove this event listener now that I have handled the event. So within my peg actor of my current target, I am now going to remove the event listener of peg event done fading out, destroy peg now. This just seems like unnecessary work, but I guess it's what you gotta do. So now I can save this. Let's run it all and make sure it all still works. All right, our ball's gone off screen, and our pegs have gradually faded out one after another. And now when I launch my ball into this area, it looks like the actors are gone for good. That's not bad. Looks like we've now added in enough visual effects that you get the idea, and you could probably add a bunch of your own if you wanted to. I encourage you to kind of experiment with Tweenlight and TweenMax. Check out the website, sort of see some of the cool features it offers. You can certainly do a lot more fun stuff than what I've just done here, but I think this is a pretty good first step and kind of gives you an idea of how to proceed. So I think we've done most of the little final touches that I actually wanted to do on this game. I suppose next up we can look at what little changes we can make to our application so that it's not just a blatant ripoff of Peggle. So that'll be coming up next.